All right. Thank you for that. That's musical numbers are being performed tonight by the Bush Elementary School Mariachi Band under the direction of Chris Donlin. There's Chris. And Chris, I understand you're going to do the national anthem for us. But before we do you have is there a student that wants to share a little bit about the program?
My name is Emily Reed, and I'm a sixth grade student at Barbara Bush Elementary. I play the guitarrón in our mariachi band, the viola in the orchestra, and I play piano lessons. I take piano lessons at home. I love music, and it plays a big role in my life. When I get out on stage, I love being able to share my musical talents with everyone in an audience. I feel that I am expressing myself through music, and that is something that I love. Our mariachi program gets together on Wednesday mornings, and we practice for about an hour. And I love getting together on Wednesday mornings with all these incredible people, and it's so much fun, especially when we get to perform.
Two groups tonight that are performing. One is from Bush Elementary over here, and then the other group is my group from Desert Sounds Mariachi. Now these kids are mostly Mesa Public Schools kids. We have Poston Junior High, Red Mountain High School, Mesa High School, and Westwood High School represented tonight here. And I get to work with them on Saturdays, so we're very pleased to have them here as well. The next
Thank you for that clarification. I had Poston, or not Poston, sorry. I had Bush Elementary School, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, am I short? We've got elementary schools with a beard. That's why you saw me darting back and forth. I was trying to get some clarification. So thank you, and you guys do an amazing job. If we could all stand for the national anthem. Okay, now we're gonna roll a video on. We've got time, and I'd love to hear it. If everyone else is okay with it, we can have a seat, and then after the performance, we'll roll the video, and we'll proceed with the rest of the meeting.
De colores se visten los campos de la primavera. De colores son los pajaritos que vienen de fuera. De colores es el arco iris que vemos lucir. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí.
Thank you for that. We really appreciate that. And Jenny's right. This was a little selfish on our part because we didn't get to watch the performance earlier, so thank you. Now we'll move on. We'll show a short video on how this meeting is going to proceed, followed by a moment of silence. I'll walk you through that. Let's start the video.
Welcome to the Mesa Public Schools Governing Board meeting. We appreciate your interest in the district. The 5 elected governing board members volunteer countless hours and serve without compensation. The president and the clerk of the board are elected in January. Under state law, the governing board may only discuss and vote on matters that are on the agenda for tonight's meeting. Agendas are posted a minimum of 24 hours in advance on the Mesa Public Schools website and in the Curriculum Services Center. Copies of tonight's agenda are located in the lobby. Members of the public may speak to the agenda items. If you wish to comment on any agenda item, please fill out a request to address the board form. These forms are also located in the lobby. Before the item is discussed, please submit the completed form to the assistant to the governing board. Members of the public will be given a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. Once recognized by the governing board president, please state your name. We ask that all speakers show respect and courtesy to others. During the second regular meeting of each month, the agenda will include a call to the public, which is an opportunity to speak to the governing board about a school district matter that's not on the agenda. Please submit a request to address the board form to participate in the call to the public. If you want the governing board to consider adding an item to a future agenda, you may submit your request in writing to the board at least 5 working days before that meeting. The superintendent or the governing board president will consider your request. Thank you for your attendance and involvement in tonight's meeting.
All right, before we get started, we do have some more seats. If there's people that don't want to stand in the back at any point in time, you're welcome to join us up front. That front. Okay, in accordance with Governing Board Policy BDDH, public participation at board meetings, please stand for a moment of silence, and we'll have you remain standing for the pledge after that. All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Mrs. Holly Williams, Assistant Superintendent of High Schools.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Okay, so I'm going to apologize for this. We have been a very busy board. We've got a number of minutes to approve from the last couple both special sessions and study sessions that we've had, just due to some of the work that we've needed to get accomplished within the district. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Can I get a motion to approve the regular meeting, the minutes of the regular meeting held on January 23rd, 2018?
I move that we approve the minutes on regular meeting held on January 23rd, 2018.
All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed? Can I get a motion to approve? Actually, Pete, can we make a motion to approve all of them, or do we need to go individually? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes for the study session held on January 24th, 2018.
I'll move that the minutes of a study session held on January 24th, 2018.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And all opposed. I need a motion for the approval of the minutes of the special meeting held on January 29th, 2018.
I'll make a motion that the minutes of the special meeting held on February 6th, 2018 be approved.
29th.
Yeah. On the 29th, of January 29th be approved.
Okay, so we've got a motion to approve the meetings for the special, or the minutes for the special meeting held on January 29th. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, no opposed? Okay, now I need a motion for the approval of the minutes of the special meeting held on February 6th, 2018.
I move that we approve the minutes of the special meeting held on February 6th, 2018.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And no opposed. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting held on February 7th, 2018?
I move that we approve the special meeting, the minutes of the meeting held on February 7th.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And approved. Okay, let's move on to item 7, personnel requests.
Mr. President, members of the board, we're asking your approval this evening of the certificated and classified personnel requests, including the addendum.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that the certificated and classified personnel requests, including an addendum, be adopted and approved.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
And no opposed. We do have consent agenda. Generally, all items listed would be considered as a group and would be approved with one motion. There will not be a separate discussion unless a board member or citizens request, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. We do have a request to remove item I to be considered as a separate vote. So what I'll be looking for is Motion to approve the consent agenda as stated, minus I.
I move that we approve the consent agenda items A through H.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and as outlined before, we have a request to separate item I from the consent agenda, so I need a motion for the approval of item I from the consent agenda.
I move that we approve consent agenda item I, renaming Nathan T. Hawthorne Elementary School to Michael T. Hughes Elementary School.
I will abstain from this vote. I'm elated that the community is in support of our efforts and what I do, but I do want to express that I do believe it's important that the community know that we hear pros, cons, and all regarding any actions that we take. And with that said, I decide to abstain from this vote. Thank you.
Okay, so all remaining members in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed? Okay, with that, let's move on to Dr. Cowan's out. So, and actually we need to, I meant to say this earlier, pardon him, he's actually at a conference. He's doing some great things for us outside of the state at a conference. So we've got Pete Lesser filling in.
Mr. President, members of the board, it's my pleasure to share the superintendent's report this evening. Dr. Cowan, as you stated, is currently in Nashville attending the National Conference for School Superintendents. Late January and early February focus on milestone preparations for many of our students and parents. In fact, we welcome the class of 2031. Yes, I said 2031, with a kindergarten enrollment campaign. Kindergarten is the foundation upon which a student's educational career is built. Our young learners have many educational options available to them in Mesa Public Schools, including Montessori, dual language immersion, International Baccalaureate, Franklin Traditional Schools, and our award-winning neighborhood schools. District junior highs hosted their annual step-up days for our 6th grade students. During the day, students toured their future junior high schools and learned about class electives and student club opportunities. In the evening, counselors met with parents to help with their children's transition to 7th grade. Our junior high teams expertly and enthusiastically welcome students to this new and exciting chapter in their education. At our high schools, seniors have graduation on the horizon. With college and career prospects approaching, their vocabulary currently includes words such as FAFSA, scholarship, certification, apprenticeship, graduation. Thank you to all of our heroes across the district who provide the resources, skills, knowledge, and moments of kindness that ensure our students will be successful in all of their endeavors. While I'm on the topic of success, I'd like to congratulate Vincent Moore. Vincent is a junior at Red Mountain High School. Vincent received a perfect score of 36 on his ACT. Let me put this into perspective. A score of 34 and higher is in the 99th percentile, so Vincent is in the top 1% of test takers in the entire nation. Yeah, that's it. Wow, yeah. This young man is going places. While attending Shepherd Junior High School in spring 2015, he earned 2 associate's degrees from Mesa Community College with honors and a 4.0 GPA. To say Vincent is focused on education is an understatement. His next goal is to earn the advanced STEM and AP capstone diplomas at Red Mountain. As if that isn't enough, he's one of the leading developers for Red Mountain's NASA engineering project team. You can also find him developing artificial intelligence for his engineering club project or researching solutions for worldwide climate issues for Model UN. I do believe that this young man might change the world someday. My, how things have changed. In 1928, Betty Robinson, an 8th grade student from South Bend, Indiana, won the National Spelling Bee by correctly spelling the word knack. Last month, Franklin at Brimhall 6th grader Stanley Fuller took first place by spelling the word patriarch in the 2018 district spelling bee. In total, 53 school champions in grades 4 through 8 competed at the district spelling bee, which was hosted by Franklin at Brimhall Elementary School. The other top spellers receiving trophies were Andre Johnson, a 6th grader at Eisenhower Center for Innovation, Caden Holliday, a 7th grader from Eagle Ridge Enrichment Program, Kismet Candlin, a 6th grader from Hale Elementary School, and Peyton Rule, a 7th grader at Stapley Junior High School. 11 students will represent Mesa Public Schools at the Regional Spelling Bee February 24th, which will also take place at Franklin at Brimhall. Good luck to all of our spellers. Mr. President and board members, this concludes the superintendent's report. If you'd please join me down on the floor for some other recognitions. Now, you heard me say that Dr. Cowan is gone today, so I need to be on my best behavior because he is probably watching the live streaming of this, maybe taking notes, critiquing how I'm interacting with our community. So I need you guys to behave too, all right? Be enthusiastic when we recognize these individuals. All right, so if I could have Janet Spicer, the gifted and talented teacher at Bush and Mendoza Elementary Schools, please come on down. And you know, that is excellent practice because I didn't even tell you what she's going to be recognized for, and you're already applauding. There's a special spot here, Janet, that black star, if you would face this way, right here. Right out this way. Okay, thank you. All right, Janet was named the Elementary Teacher of the Year by the Arizona Association for Gifted and Talented Teachers. She was recognized for her significant commitment and contributions to the teaching and support of gifted and talented students. Janet works in an enrichment-based pull-out program capacity, helping enhance the education experiences for our students with high reasoning abilities. She is passionate about helping students develop and grow and explore learning. She integrates social emotional learning and the unique needs of our gifted students into her instruction. Deb Lynch, who's the principal at Mendoza, there she is videoing the experience here. She says, Janet is an amazing teacher who genuinely cares about children. Her lessons challenge students in ways that are fun and engaging, and they really respond to her. Janet is instrumental in supporting her peers through her work, developing the district's gifted and talented endorsement courses. Thank you for letting us share in your celebration this evening. You are certainly deserving of this incredible award.
Thank you. I accept this, but with such a grateful heart. Everybody I work with should have this because they are what makes me what I am. I work with the most incredible people. They're supportive. We love kids, and this district is supportive. So this belongs to everybody. But thank you, and I really appreciate it.
Janet, your leadership, talent, and passion make an impact on our students' educational experiences. We congratulate you on your outstanding honor. There's a few people that support this program as well. Is Eric Von Berg here? Eric's in the back. Eric is our gifted and talented department specialist, and he is probably gifted and talented as well. Thank you, Eric. Deb Lynch. Deb, give us a wave. Principal at Mendoza. I saw Tracy Olson in the back. Tracy, give us a wave. The principal at Bush Elementary. Thanks for supporting your program and your teacher. Next on the agenda are spotlight recognitions. This program gives our community a more comprehensive look at our schools, programs, and departments, and allows us to recognize some incredible individuals. This evening's spotlight recognitions include Skyline High School, Roosevelt Elementary School, and our Human Resources Department. If I could have Tom Brennan please come forward. Tom is the principal of Skyline High School. Please join me up here, and we're going to watch a short video about Skyline.
Hello everyone, I'm Principal Tom Brennan. Welcome to Skyline High School.
Home of the Coyotes!
Skyline teachers and staff make everything happen on this campus to benefit our students' success. This sense of community fosters a campus climate that is rich and diverse, accepting of all, safe, secure, and peaceful. We truly have something for everyone at Skyline. Our menu of academic opportunities, CTE courses, athletics, arts, leadership and service clubs, and student activities affords every student the opportunity to create his or her own personal legacy of excellence. Our AVID program, for example, is 4 years old and continues to grow each year. Last year, we celebrated our first AVID graduation ceremony, sending off 26 first-generation college students to pursue their post-secondary dreams. The students and teachers in our ROTC program are true leaders on campus, and they provide incredible service to our community through their participation in Color Guard at events, honor flights at Sky Harbor Airport, hosting a flag retirement ceremony right here on campus, and partnerships with local veterans groups. Skyline CTE programs are among the best in the state. Last year, Skyline's welding program achieved the highest school score in the state on the end-of-year assessment. And the program was recently named as a winner of the GCU STEM Innovation Spotlight Award. Last year, our automotive program was the first in the district to have students earn the Automotive Service Excellence, or ASE, certifications. College readiness is important to us at Skyline. Each day, we bus 18 Skyline seniors to MCC's Red Mountain campus to take up to 2 college classes free of charge. Skyline offers over 30 AP and dual enrollment course options, so our students can leave Skyline with college credits in hand. Every day we come to work, learn, and play at Skyline to support all members of our community as they create their own legacy of excellence.
What will your legacy be?
Create your legacy of excellence at Skyline High School.
Hey, Mr. Brennan, if you take a little bit of time to introduce your honorees.
Thank you, Dr. Lesser, Madam President, members of the board. I appreciate having us here tonight. At Skyline High School, we're dedicated to support every student while they create their own legacy of excellence within our community. Our school has something for everyone in a safe and accepting environment built on a foundation of high expectations. Tonight, I'd like to recognize a few of our Coyotes who make our school special. First, I'm going to invite Peyton Bland, a senior at Skyline, to please join me at the podium. Thanks for being here. Peyton is an established leader on our campus, a committed, avid student, dedicated Coyote who bleeds green and gold. She challenged herself with rigorous coursework and has already invested 940 service hours during her time at Skyline. Peyton is someone who knows how to be confident in herself, to be confidently herself, and she encourages her peers to be the best they can be. Skyline High School is a better place because of you, Peyton, and I'm honored to recognize you as our outstanding student tonight.
Thank you so much.
A school doesn't work without its whole community, especially volunteers, and tonight I invite Stephanie Strobel, our volunteer extraordinaire, to please come forward. Mrs. Strobel is a vital member of our school booster club, football booster club, and a dedicated supporter of our staff.
She and her Booster Club colleagues have spent hundreds of hours helping our team achieve the high results they are known for. She's always ready to recognize our teachers and staff as well. She's provided lunch for teacher workshops, and this year she has sponsored our Teacher of the Month Award. I'm honored to recognize you, Stephanie, as our volunteer extraordinaire. Thanks for being here. Next up, Mr. Michael Drubitsky, CTE welding teacher. Please join me at the podium. Mr. Drubitsky, or Mr. D, as his students lovingly call him, is quick to say, "I love it here," and it shows. He doesn't just teach welding at a high level, he teaches problem solving, engineering, task analysis, attention to detail, and life skills. His award-winning program prepares students for college, career, and life. He is a department chair, a campus leader who puts the best interest of our students and community first. I'm honored to recognize you, Michael, as our educator who makes a difference. Thanks for being here. And last, certainly not least, Angelita Navarrete. Angel is secretary to the assistant principals, and Angel's desk is a hub of activity mixed with laughter and smiles. She keeps our school running smoothly. Angel manages our work orders, facility usage, and the school-wide calendar. She organizes graduation, end-of-the-year awards assembly. She eases students' nerves as they anxiously wait to meet their assistant principal and their fate. No matter who she's helping, she's kind, friendly, and customer-focused. I'm honored to recognize you, Angel, as our customer service champion tonight.
Peyton, do you have any family members here? Could you just have them stand up, point them out, and stand them up? All right. She said you're the best. Thank you, Peyton's family, for being here as well. And how about other Skyline supporters? Any other Skyline supporters here? All right. Thank you. Well, we're going to move on to school number 2 here. Our next spotlight shines on Roosevelt Elementary School. Will Darlene Shumway, the principal at Roosevelt, please come up to the podium while we watch a video of your school?
Welcome to Roosevelt Elementary, home of the Rough Riders. My name is Darlene Shumway, and I'm proud to serve as principal. Success for everyone. The responsibility is ours. At Roosevelt, staff, students, families, and the community work together to ensure student success. Our highly motivated staff strives to be innovators in education. We are avid trained and committed to teach students rigorous academics in a collaborative learning environment. The Rough Rider staff is committed to compassionate classrooms and begins each day teaching social-emotional skills that are reinforced by our PBIS framework and PlayWorks programs. The dedicated Roosevelt staff offers many opportunities for student enrichment through after-school programs such as robotics, sports, coding, choir, gardening, and cooking. Students at Roosevelt are goal setters. They track their progress on data walls or in data binders. They aim to improve in academic areas by identifying successful habits such as attendance, behavior, homework, or focus. Our parents support their students' success by helping in our parent room and by attending academic parent-teacher teams, parenting classes, and monthly grade level workshops. They collaborate with staff by discussing current topics in monthly principal gatherings. Roosevelt is blessed to be supported by a dynamic community. Our students are loved and cared for by Friendship Village, Kiwanis, Helping Hands, the City of Mesa, and Compass Bank. Rough Rider staff, students, families, and community together partner to help students thrive.
What a great school! Thank you, Dr. Lesser. We appreciate it. Thank you, Governing Board. Roosevelt Elementary is the home of the Rough Riders. Our students are respectful, responsible, and safe. At Roosevelt, students, families, staff, and community members work together to ensure success. Tonight, I'd like to recognize a few people who make me want to cry, who make our school a really special place. Ariana Romero, 6th grade student, would you please come up and join me? Ariana has been a Rough Rider since kindergarten. She excels socially and academically and is always on the principal's list. If she scores anything lower than a 90% on a test, she insists on studying and retaking that test. Ariana is also dedicated to orchestra and student council. Always kind, empathetic, and inclusive. She's helped many new students get used to their routines and make new friends. I am honored to recognize you, Ariana, as the outstanding student at Roosevelt Elementary. Roosevelt is blessed to have a great community. And when we say success for everyone, the responsibility is ours. We mean staff, students, parents, and community. We are blessed with our community, and Mary Gray is our volunteer that we would like to recognize tonight. Mary Gray, would you join me? Mary is just one of the wonderful Kiwanians from Friendship Village that support our school. Mary has served at Roosevelt for more than 7 years. She's dependable and caring. She's devoted countless hours to our media center. Every year, she ensures our 4th graders receive the historical book, Arizona Nuggets, by delivering them and discussing the state's colorful history. She believes in our vision, success for everyone. The responsibility is ours. Thank you, Mary. I would like to ask Jamie Clemens, counselor, Amy Duravage, Title I specialist, and Susan Osmond, psychologist, to come to the podium. The Dream Team. The Roosevelt theme this year is Be a Hero, and tonight we recognize our heroic Tier 2 leadership team. This team has led us through the challenge of implementing PBIS Tier 1 with fidelity in just 1 year. They are now working hard to implement Tier 2. This team has researched effective interventions and supports and has provided professional development, making our school trauma-sensitive with compassionate classrooms. This team meets weekly and analyzes data and problem-solves techniques that will ensure student success. Jamie's superpower is flexibility. As the counselor on our campus, she has been willing to do anything our students need in order to help them succeed. Amy's superpower is instructional leadership. She works tirelessly with teachers and aides in a constant improvement of the instructional delivery and classroom management on our campus. Susan's superpower is knowledge. She stays abreast of current research and is constantly providing innovative ideas and effective behavioral strategies. These amazing superheroes always put our students first. I'm honored to recognize you, Jamie, Amy, and Susan, as our educators who make a difference. Gina Kaiser is secretary to the principal. Gina Kaiser, would you please come forward? Gina is kind, positive, and an advocate for our students. In fact, a student once told her that she talks to him like a good mom. Gina is a strong communicator who partners with parents. If a parent is upset, Gina listens. She gives positive feedback and she provides clarification. She empowers parents to articulate their concerns while building trust and positive relationships. I am honored to recognize you, Gina Kaiser, as our customer service champion. And our Roosevelt heroes are going to shake each one of these wonderful board members' hands.
Is Ariana's family here today? If they would stand up and be recognized, thank you. Congratulations, Ariana, and thank you to your family for their support of you and our schools. Thank you very much. And the Skyline group was very reserved when I said, hey, is there anybody here from Skyline? How about Roosevelt? All right. Yeah, when it comes to this, there really aren't any rules. You can whoop it up a little bit. So thank you to the Roosevelt staff as well for their support and the hard work in their community. Okay. Our last spotlight this evening shines on the Human Resources Department. See? Yep, they know. They're a rowdy group. Dr. Holmes, the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, if you would come forward, and we're going to watch a video about your group.
Hi, I'm Sean Holmes, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources.
Hello. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Human Resources. How can I help you?
I was just hired on as an IA at Mesa High.
Human Resources is comprised of 4 distinct areas: certificated, classified, substitute and volunteer services, and employee benefits and risk management. Each and every one of our nearly 65,000 students need great teachers, and our teachers need great leaders and support staff to help them do their job effectively. Our teams support students by directly engaging in the effort to attract and retain the very best teachers, leaders, and support staff possible. In everything we do, we strive to make personnel operations personal through compassionate, confidential, and comprehensive service. Last year, we hired nearly 900 classified employees and almost 400 teachers. We have about 9,000 regularly employed individuals and an additional 700 substitute teachers. We have about 1,200 volunteers that work throughout our school system. On an annual basis, we process about 14,000 PARFs. About twice a year, we are proud to come together as a department to support a charity in the community. This past December, we chose Helen's Hope Chest. Helen's Hope Chest is a charity that supports foster kids throughout the East Valley. As a department, we donated blankets, clothes, and toiletries to provide for the basic needs of kids in our community. Our employees are at the heart of our organization, and supporting their needs is at the heart of what we do in human resources. We are proud to do our part to help fulfill the mission of Mesa Public Schools, unprecedented excellence in education.
Welcome to Mesa Public Schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lesser. Human resources, as stated in the video, is comprised of 4 major areas: certificated, classified, substitute and volunteer services, and employee benefits and risk management. We focus on supporting and building the best possible workforce to serve our nearly 65,000 students, and we strive to do our part to make Mesa Public Schools the employer of choice in our community. Tonight, I'd like to honor a few members of our team, Michelle Bernal and Lorraine Wagner, Employee Benefits Specialists. Could you please join me at the podium? With integrity and professionalism, Michelle and Lorraine provide valuable expertise and support. Their guidance is extraordinary. Whether they're assisting staff with the online enrollment platform or helping an employee who's experienced an unexpected life circumstance, this dynamic duo cares deeply about our community. I am honored to recognize you, Michelle and Lorraine, as our employees who make a difference. Sandra Ramirez, Human Resources Technician, could you please join me at the podium? Sandra is always cheerful and pleasant. In customer service training, you're advised to smile when speaking on the phone. You can always envision Sandra's beaming smile when she's talking to you. She expertly answers FMLA questions and happily helps colleagues process new employees, all while exuding a positive energy that brightens the room. I heard a yes, yes? I heard a yes. I am honored to recognize you, Sandra, as our customer service champion. On behalf of all the hardworking and supportive team members in Human Resources, I think we have a few of them here. Thank you for letting us shine a spotlight on our department.
Dr. Holmes, we really appreciate the work that you do in our Human Resources Department, and that is an awesome group of individuals and services that they provide to our district. Sometimes I can't wonder to think, did the last guy that ran that department have any impact on that? Oh, that would be me. No, I'm kidding. Congratulations to the Human Resources Department. You do a lot of work to keep our schools and classrooms full of hardworking, dedicated individuals who love children and want to see them reach their greatest potential, and all of the other individuals that work through the Human Resources Department to fix air conditioners and make sure our classrooms are appropriate and buildings are painted and food is served. So all of those operational departments beyond the classroom, we can't do it without all of those individuals as well. So one more round of applause for all three groups this evening. I say these parting words. Thank you to our master educators and top-notch employees. Your individual and collective efforts engage and inspire young learners every day. You give children the tools to be successful in life. which is evident in the outstanding students represented at this evening's meeting. We celebrate you. Our spotlight recipients receive a certificate of appreciation and an Amazon gift card for personal use from Mesa Public Schools Foundation. In addition, our volunteer extraordinaires receive a candy-filled tumbler, and outstanding students are recognized with an official portrait to be displayed in our governing boardroom. And my notes say I'm supposed to gesture to the wall. Okay? That's where you're going to go. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your time this evening. We will take a brief 3-minute recess, allowing honorees and guests to continue with their evening plans. You may receive congratulations and take photos out in the lobby. Thank you. Thanks for coming tonight.
Hello everyone, I'm Principal Tom Brennan. Welcome to Skyline High School.
Skyline teachers and staff make everything happen on this campus to benefit our students' success. This sense of community fosters a campus climate that is rich and diverse, accepting of all, safe, secure, and peaceful. We truly have something for everyone at Skyline. Our menu of academic opportunities, CTE courses, athletics, arts, leadership and service clubs, and student activities affords every student the opportunity to create his or her own personal legacy of excellence. Our AVID program, for example, is 4 years old and continues to grow each year. Last year we celebrated our first AVID graduation ceremony, sending off 26 first-generation college students to pursue their post-secondary dreams. The students and teachers in our ROTC program are true leaders on campus, and they provide incredible service to our community through their participation in Color Guard at events, honor flights at Sky Harbor Airport, hosting a flag retirement ceremony right here on campus, and partnerships with local veterans groups. Skyline's CTE programs are among the best in the state. Last year, Skyline's welding program achieved the highest school score in the state on the end-of-year assessment. And the program was recently named as a winner of the GCU STEM Innovation Spotlight Award. Last year, our automotive program was the first in the district to have students earn the Automotive Service Excellence, or ASE, certifications. College readiness is important to us at Skyline. Each day, we bus 18 Skyline seniors to MCC's Red Mountain campus to take up to 2 college classes free of charge. Skyline offers over 30 AP and dual enrollment course options, so our students can leave Skyline with college credits in hand. Every day we come to work, learn, and play at Skyline to support all members of our community as they create their own legacy of excellence.
What will your legacy be? Create your legacy of excellence at Skyline High School.
Welcome to Roosevelt Elementary, home of the Rough Riders. My name is Darlene Shumway, and I'm proud to serve as principal. Success for everyone. The responsibility is ours. At Roosevelt, staff, students, families, and the community work together to ensure student success. Our highly motivated staff strives to be innovators in education. We are AVID trained and committed to teach students rigorous academics in a collaborative learning environment. The Rough Rider staff is committed to compassionate classrooms and begins each day teaching social-emotional skills that are reinforced by our PBIS framework and PlayWorks programs. The dedicated Roosevelt staff offers many opportunities for student enrichment through after-school programs such as robotics, sports, coding, choir, gardening, and cooking. Students at Roosevelt are goal setters. They track their progress on data walls or in data binders. They aim to improve in academic areas by identifying successful habits such as attendance, behavior, homework, or focus. Our parents support their students' success by helping in our parent room and by attending academic parent-teacher teams, parenting classes, and monthly grade level workshops. They collaborate with staff by discussing current topics in monthly principal gatherings. Roosevelt is blessed to be supported by a dynamic community. Our students are loved and cared for by Friendship Village, Kiwanis, Helping Hands, the City of Mesa, and Compass Bank. Rough Rider staff, students, families, and community together partner to help students thrive.
Hi, I'm Sean Holmes, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources.
Hello. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Human Resources.
Did we lose Kiana?
Help you.
All right, in the interest of time, we will move on to the presentations portion of tonight's board meeting. Tonight's presentation is a presentation on learning leaders for learning schools, LLLS.
President Smith, if we can have our Linda Mann just do some introductions, share a little bit about the program, and then we'll have our presenters come up.
That would be perfect because I was a little lost.
Thank you, Mr. President. So 2 years ago, we partnered with the Arizona Department of Education for this Leading Learners for Learning Schools, and a group of our principals, elementary, junior high, and high school, currently participate in this program. Due to some conflicts in scheduling, a couple of principals have dropped out. However, we still have Alex McDonald, Krista Arbogast, Pat Goldsby, and Stephanie Montes, who participate in the program. It's a leadership cohort, and they work with not only Mesa Public Schools principals, but principals from across the valley. So we'll start, and they'll tell you a little bit about the projects they've been working on. So Alex McDonald.
For having us tonight. Each one of us is going to talk to you specifically about our individual schools. We started in the program designing a problem of practice, and so each school has a kind of a unique focus to what they're working on. And our first section was to go through and start to get a knowledge base about different research that was taking place with the learning systems. So our first one was our CASAB model, and we looked at what is our current situation in our school, what are the knowledge, skills, behaviors that our teachers have, and what are our aspirations or our goals for an end product out of our problem of practice. If we were able to follow this through, develop it, and have our teachers participate, what will our campuses look like different at the end from where we started? We also looked at the Gusky model for being able to have teachers give us feedback on the different sessions that they're attending. A lot of times we're producing that for them, but we're not getting a lot of feedback from them about how responsive the model is. We are also looking at a continuous cycle of improvement. So as we work through these 3 years and we have a specific piece that we're developing, then what is that piece going to look like as it continues to grow? So it's not an end result model, but one that's going to continue to move on for us. And currently we're working on feedback models with staff, which is timing really well for our spring evaluations. And we have each one of those sessions is developed specifically around how you're going to conference and what are the teachers going to take away from that feedback piece that go along with what they're seeing in their evaluations. So each one of us is going to talk to you about our problem of practice, and then we'll wrap up with you at the end. I'm going to turn over to Crystal Arbogast, and she's going to talk to you about Emerson.
I get the clicker too. All right, when defining our problem of practice at Emerson, there were a lot of things that we considered. Emerson in the past few years has a few new initiatives that we've put into place. Those initiatives would be PBIS, AVID, Sanford Harmony, which is our social emotional learning, grading practices. On the horizon, we knew project-based learning was coming to us, and then we've also been fortunate for the past couple of years to receive a character education grant, which we've used to have professional learning through COI services. Taking all of that into consideration and all of the new learning that teachers had on their plate, new learning is change, and that can be a bit daunting for teachers. So in order to kind of give us a clear direction on where we were going and what we were doing with our professional learning, we went to an oldie but a goodie for our problem of practice. We decided to streamline our professional learning committees. And the first thing that we did last year was we took away our paper notebook and went to Google Drive, and were able to give each other feedback through Google Drive, and they were able to receive feedback from the principal, and I didn't have to go and try and figure out whose room that notebook was in because I had it there in my computer. Looking at that problem of practice and really streamlining our PLCs, you know, there's always teacher turnover at a campus, and so we really wanted to create that common mindset of what that professional conversation would be. So that was what we were doing. And beyond that, the professional learning community that did change the most was our child study team, previously known as TAT. All schools have either a TAT team, which is a teacher assistant team, or a child study team. A few years ago, Emerson also implemented a BAT team to go along with our TAT team. That's a behavior assistance team. And what we learned doing that the first couple of years as me being the principal there is that quite often students that were struggling academically were also struggling behaviorally. Or if there were some behavioral struggles, then there were also some academic struggles that went along with that. So last year, we really took that PLC model to heart and streamlined the child study team. That underwent a lot of transition at Emerson. We took to heart that Emerson promise: every student is known by name, strength, and need. Previously on the TAT teams, that was a committee of teachers who volunteered to be on that TAT team all year long. But we felt that these teams were important enough that teachers across the campus, every teacher in every grade level, including our special ed team and specialists, PE teacher, music teachers, gifted and talented teacher, they are all part of a child study team. This is a vertical professional learning community where teachers can bring a student who is struggling with either academics or behavior, and it's an opportunity to talk about the data regarding that child and offer intervention strategies that the teacher can implement. But we also took to heart every student is known by name, strength, and need. What we know at Emerson, what we know to be true, is every child, regardless of their level, deserves to make one academic year progress. And what we learned is some of our higher achieving students were not making that growth. So typically, in a traditional child study team, you wouldn't necessarily study those students who are achieving. But if they're not making growth, then what other opportunity do teachers have to rely on each other to figure out how do we challenge this learner so that they continue to want to come to school, they're continually engaged, and they do make that 1 year's academic growth. So that's the problem of practice at Emerson. That's the way we have implemented it, and the biggest change has been to our child study teams. I think Stephanie's next.
So at East Valley and Academy and Crossroads, we had the opportunity to participate in this as well. And it gave us the opportunity to talk with other schools across the state of Arizona and other principals to find out what's happening in schools of choice and schools of success. And we ended up choosing to be in the third group, which was our problem of practice was about culture at the school. And it fit well with East Valley Academy as they began to really celebrate what the work that we do at our school and also are the unique programs that we offer at our school, and to find ways to let our community and involve our parents in our school to help strengthen what we do for our kids. And every day we look for opportunities, and we've had opportunities to go out in the community to do things such as setting up a clothing closet at our school that our kids call my best friend's closet. And also working on projects like being a school where there is no place for hate, and also working on a bigger scale on being a school of civic engagement. And by finding community resources and attracting different individuals to our campus, we've increased the services for our students. And we're all about figuring out what it takes for our kids to be successful, and going out and finding those resources both within and without from outside of our school, and making those resources available to our kids so that we see graduates, we see successful kids, and we have an amazing new college and career readiness club that we have on our campus, where our kids are out looking for scholarships, and they're looking for opportunities to go to college after they leave East Valley Academy. And we are 4 unique programs at our school, and we're very proud of them, because we have something at our school to meet the needs of kids in the Mesa Public School District. And that's what our district is about: every student being successful and every student having a place to go. And we're proud of that opportunity, and this opportunity has been great for us. So we had 4 things that we did. We did the theory of change, and I know that you have exposure to be able to read all of those things, but this has been a great opportunity for us.
It is me. Okay. I'm Stephanie Montes, and I had a unique experience because I started out at Hughes, and I'm now at Adams, so this is my first year there. So I had to change what my problem of practice was and my focus, of course. So at Adams, it's a wonderful campus, and when I was writing the problem of practice, I kept going back to the fact that there's so many positives going on there, and we have a very positive culture that's absolutely ready to learn. We just needed some direction, and so what I'm focusing on there is making sure that we are a cohesive campus, that we're all working towards the same goals. And so the first thing that I noticed is that we didn't have a mission statement or a vision statement for our school. So I included in here, past the CASAB, the fact that we worked on that, and the staff is who developed that mission statement, which is engage, empower, succeed. And if you ask any student on our campus, they can say that from kinder on up through 6th grade. And then they developed a vision statement as well. And one of our biggest pieces to that vision statement is that we wanted to become a model school. And so part of that was working collectively towards the same goals, and making sure that kinder through 6th grade that we were doing things cohesively as well. And so we were making collective commitments around all of the professional development that we've been receiving. And so that has worked really well, and that has been our focus. And we've also been focusing on how professional learning communities work, which has helped us with the grading practices. And so that's been a big focus for us too. And personally, I have been working on the feedback process is something that we're doing in LLLS, and that has helped me to be a better instructional leader at my campus. One of the things that I have shifted is leading through inquiry. So instead of just telling them, so have you thought about this, and why don't you try this, or correcting them, I'm asking them, what do you think would work? And that has been so much more powerful, because they're thinking and coming up with the answers instead of just me telling them. So it has been a wonderful experience to be a part of LLS. Thank you.
At Edison, our problem of practice is built around the idea of having teachers have differentiated learning paths. And so as I have a veteran staff, they're pursuing some of their own interests. And this year we're working on PBL. We have SEL for social emotional learning pieces. We have a math group. We have a new set of teachers that didn't go through grading with us last year, and they're doing a grading portion this year. And then our last set is working on kind of AVID as our framework for an overall for school. So each teacher is working within their goal setting to be able to find learning targets for them to be able to improve. Our goal is to increase their capacity, align our resources and our efforts within Mesa Public Schools, as well as with what our teachers are doing for their professional learning. So I'm going to turn it over to Pat Goldby. She's going to give us kind of our closure to this, and then I understand you have some questions.
In closing, we just wanted to let you know that we've had two really big opportunities in this process. We go probably about 4 times during the school year, and we also go in the summer to meet with other educational leaders from around the state. And we have Learning Forward and also the Arizona Department of Education that works with us. And we've had the opportunity to go back to our staffs and model the fact that learning is also our focus and priority, and that we are out there in a PLC, and that we are showing our staff that we believe that learning extends to us, and that we need to go out and do that as well to stay abreast of the current things that are going on. Also, we have the ability with this process to collaborate and work on innovative ideas to solve problems within our district, but also as we look at education throughout the state. And those are two great things that have come out of this process. And thank you.
All right, thank you for that. We'll move on to questions. I guess since I've got the mic first, I get to start. I'll ask one question though, and then hand it off to the rest of the board. I've noticed on campuses where programs similar to this, there seems to be decreased behavioral issues. Have you seen that? Have you noticed, just because you know the students? Have you guys seen much of that, or is this just what I think I'm seeing on these campuses?
I would say, yes, we have seen that, especially when you're implementing programs that are the PBIS model, the social emotional learning. But what we have learned through LLLS is to clearly define what, really state what the problem is and what the goal is that we're working towards. And then we also communicate that mission to staff and create buy-in with staff. So yes, I would say that's very true, that we have seen a decrease in some of the behaviors that we might have seen in the past. Does that answer?
Yeah, no, thank you. Questions from the board?
Well, first of all, Alex, happy 60th birthday at Edison. Is it tomorrow that we're supposed to wear red and pink and come to Edison? Nope. There's something wrong then somewhere, because I forwarded something today. I'll look and find, because I hope no one shows up tomorrow for you, Alex. Because I invited all my friends.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but tomorrow is Valentine's.
I know. I thought it was strange that you were celebrating that day, but you told everybody to wear pink and red. So I was like, all right. I'm going to go back and fix that on my Facebook page, Alex. Just so you know, I'm glad I could be the first to wish you happy 60th birthday. Out of the 4, are you the only 4 campuses that we have engaged in this program? Is that what I heard? And so how did you volunteer for this program? How were you selected? Anybody?
Each of us at the elementary has a little different version than Pat's. Holly extended us an opportunity to be able to do this, and Stephanie and I had done Beat the Odds previously and had kind of a professional learning opportunity. Crystal, were you part of Beat the Odds? Yes. So we kind of all had that at the elementary model and saw this as an opportunity. And then Pat, I think she has a little different story for that, advocating for her campus and kind of the unique needs that she has there, and being able to see there aren't a lot of models for her to be able to kind of reach out to. So this was a way to connect to other alternative campuses.
I love that it is principals modeling that learning continues, that we're all working to get better in our jobs. And I love that part of the program. And specifically, Pat, on your program, I loved that looking for ways to involve your families, because that's something that certainly is usually an elementary goal, but at your campus, there's so many various family situations happening that was one of my favorite parts. That's something that you're focused on, so I love that. Thank you. You guys did a good job.
So for the 3 people that are watching on the live audience, if you're connected to Jenny's Facebook, She actually did post that tomorrow is. So we. So if you show up at Emerson tomorrow at 7:50 a.m. to celebrate, I guess, Valentine's Day, bring flowers for the staff.
I posted a link. So let's blame Helen. It's your department, Helen.
I saw that. I was going to ask.
It was Shelley Delmo. That's where I got it. There you go.
Now that it's public knowledge, we can have fun with her tomorrow.
I'll trace it back and see what I read, but I'll look back. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Okay,
And I'm
so-
sorry. Get some donuts on your way to work tomorrow. People are coming for a party. I invited them.
Okay, be careful. This is not going to get out of hand on my watch. All right?
Mike's. Well, I'm surprised you haven't received a text yet from Mike's. Okay, back on topic. Any more questions from the board?
I do have comment and questions. I am so excited to watch the social emotional learning happening and want to ask that we stay abreast to what's happening and as much as possible have the board, because as I read through things and I think about, the no learning models and you being on the forefront of that, thank you for what you do. Thank you for stepping up to this leadership and bringing a much needed service that's so valuable to our children and for future leaders. I do have questions, and it speaks to that as well as something that's very dear to my heart, no place for hate, so I'm just gonna roll it all together. As leaders that's chosen in this unique project, I want to know how do we, and what suggestions, and feel free to give us suggestions, how do we get other leaders in our system excited about social emotional learning as well as no place for hate? I know it's two different things, but both very much on my radar and something that I'm just beyond thrilled, and the board members here I know are beyond thrilled happening. But first I would like to speak to social emotional learning and how to get other leaders to understand the importance of it and how do we expand it, and what suggestions do you personally have?
Since I brought it up tonight, I'll go ahead and speak to that. One of the things that Emerson is a very diverse learning community. We're an all-walking school, and we're a very large community too. So we have over an enrollment of over 800 students. And when you think about that Westwood area where Emerson is, we have students coming from all different directions, from all different backgrounds. So looking at the data that we had at Emerson, is particularly looking at the behavioral data that I would enter either as a principal or that teachers would enter. The data really showed a need for something different than what we were doing. Every student that comes to that school is so valuable, so important, and they have such a unique perspective that they are bringing. And when you think about when I think about Emerson, I get very excited because that's the real world. I see every ethnicity, every social economic group represented right there on that campus. And I think about that, our dream, what we have at the mission and vision we have at Emerson is what starts here changes a community. What we start with those littles in those kindergarten classrooms goes on to Carson Junior High. We send that on to Westwood High School. I might be a little bought into the Westwood community because I have one daughter that's graduated from there, one that will be graduating this year, so I am very much tied and connected to that neighborhood. But they didn't go to Emerson, but they are Westwood students. So looking at the data really would be where principals would start. And then looking at the data across the district and seeing how the data is presenting itself at different schools that have implemented different programs is something that really would also lend well to that. But one of the things that has really motivated my teaching staff, and initially when teachers here, and I was a teacher too, so I apologize to Sandy Kewen, who was my principal at the time when I was a teacher. When there was new learning, I was like, oh, one more thing. Okay, how am I gonna make time for one more thing? And I will be honest and say that my staff heard Sanford Harmony was coming, and it was one more thing that we were gonna do. And so what we decided to do, Leilani Scott has been a very, very big part of implementing social emotional learning on campuses. Bringing social emotional learning and Sanford Harmony to Emerson, one of the big motivators there is it's free. Yay. Leilani delivered the professional learning, and then we started small. A very small part of that is the meet up, buddy up part of that, and it's a 5-10 minute activity, and it puts students together that would not normally be together. The first unit of study is diversity, that's the first theme. And they are learning that, hey, we are coming from all different areas in this neighborhood, and I'm sitting next to a student that I wouldn't typically choose to sit next to, and initially didn't think I had anything in common with them, and they find out they have a lot in common. One of the other things that has really encouraged students to participate in in Sanford Harmony activities is that my leadership team and myself, so that would be my Title I specialist, Dean of Students, myself, and then even some of our specialists, PE teachers if they have time, we participate in those Sanford Harmony lessons, especially that first one in diversity. And the joy that a 6th grade student can show and feel when they sit down and they say, hey, I really have a lot in common with this principal. I never thought that I would have had that much in common with my principal. We're different, but we're really not so different. So it really does. It's looking at the data and getting out and seeing it in action that really motivates people to keep going. And Mrs. Sears, if I could add to that, Dr. Forlis and I currently work with a task force. It's the Climate and Culture Task Force, and we're looking at all of the resources we currently have in our district in the area of social-emotional learning and tying all that together so that it's not one-off schools here and there that are using things like Sanford Harmony, Second Step, but a unified program for district-wide K through 12 that principals will then have a resource to go to depending on where their school currently is. So they'll do a self-assessment to determine, are they at the starting stage? Are they more advanced? Like Crystal just explained, they've already launched Sanford Harmony. Other schools have no idea what Sanford Harmony is. So the task force is looking to bring all those resources together, compile them for school use, principal use, have a component of training for principals so that they understand what social emotional learning is, how to use the resources, and then also partnering with Mesa, who will come in and do trainings here at our district for our staff, principals, teachers, classified staff. So it's right now in pockets, but the task force is looking at how do we make this district-wide and possibly in stages. So the next step to culturally responsive teaching.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions?
I've got one I'd like to ask our high school campus one there. What do you do? I can see it kind of at an elementary school level where you can reach out to the parents. Is critical to the success of some of these things is the family involvement. What have you seen for ways to involve some of these older learners, families, in making it more effective? And is that part of this LLS program?
Yes, with the third problem of practice, we are trying to connect with our parents and our community, but we're also empowering our students to have a voice themselves and encouraging them to bring their parents. Number one, by making our school a welcoming place. We do interviews for every student. We do tours. We have one-on-one meetings. We have a staff that is bilingual and welcoming to everyone that comes to our staff. We have extended hours so that we stay until 6:30 and 7 o'clock at night. We're open on Saturdays, and we welcome community groups to our campus to use our facility. We have sports teams. We have the parks next door. They've really done a beautiful job, the city of Mesa has, in creating wonderful parks around our campus. So we try to make our campus a hub that brings adults to our campus with their students. And we also have a lot of students who are parents as well, and we've reached out to different community resources to involve them in starting reading programs with their students, because we want them to know that being at EVA means that learning is for everyone. And so we've been really grateful to be involved with No Place for Hate, because they've also been a big part of our community in bringing parents to trainings about how to prevent bullying and how to have students become allies to other students to avoid bullying on your campus. So that's a few ways. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I would just, whoa, is it on? Can you hear me? I would just add that you're always working so hard at making things better at your school, and you, like you said, Crystal, you said that there, I'm sorry, yeah, I just wanted to say Christy, but it's Crystal. How have your teachers, your staff embraced this? It sounds like to me that you have the flexibility to customize it to your school, to your culture, to what is important to you and what areas you'd like to extend on and be more involved in. How has it been perceived by your staff, and are they on board? And I know you said that as a teacher, you always ask, do I want to do more? I'm already doing so much. So what has the reception been?
That's, honestly, there were teachers there's always going to be that teacher that's always that go-getter, and they're going to jump right in and they're eager to try something new. And then there's always those ones that they've seen the pendulum swing a few times, and so they're a little more leery about jumping into something like that. But it really was that looking at, honoring where individual teachers are in their learning, and that's really one of the reasons that Emerson went to, as our problem of practice, went to professional learning communities, because one of the very first things that you do in a professional learning community is analyze data. And it was really looking at school-wide data, behavior data, looking at classroom teacher behavior data, and looking at grade level behavior data that really was a motivator for teachers to see there's a need. There's a need to implement something different than what we've been doing. And then as you get to the learning portion of it, they know Sanford Harmony is coming, they have the materials, and then, they can flip through it and look at it and see that this looks like a lot, until you actually get to the learning, the professional learning part of it, and you see that it doesn't all have to be delivered in one big chunk. And teachers, we came up with goals as grade levels, we came up with goals as a school, but teachers also, one of the first things that they do in the lesson is they set classroom goals, so the students come up with their own goals. And it really turns into them motivating each other and determining, I do give my teachers some autonomy. There's expectations that I have, but then there's also, they know their classroom well, they know their students well, they know what the needs are. I trust my staff, and I think that they've really appreciated that, and that creates a lot more buy-in. And when you trust them and they are allowed to chunk it and take off little pieces or attack little pieces at a time, then you see them diving into it more and more. One of the things that was amazing that one of the teachers had looked at, and she had said, when am I going to find time for this? Because we've got reading, we've got math. And as she was going through the lessons, she learned, hey, this not only supports social emotional learning, there's writing goals in here. So they're learning that they can tie it into our everyday curriculum. And when they see it, they can tie it into the curriculum that we have and what we're already doing in the classrooms. It's just going to create more buy-in. So it's still a fairly new initiative in Emerson, but it is creating steam. And it is, when I say that the first theme is diversity, it's kindergarten through 6th grade. That is the first theme that they're working on, and it's grade level specific, grade level appropriate. And the nice thing is, as a specialist at Emerson, if you're the PE teacher, you may not have, you're not going to have the kindergarten through 6th grade kit sitting in your office, but Sanford Harmony is all online. That teacher can go in and figure out what it is that the 1st grade class that's coming into him. He can learn what they've been working on, and as a principal, I know what the different lessons are, so I can go in and kind of provide some support. And it really is just, the kids are really enjoying it, and when teachers, the more they see the kids enjoying it and the more the kids are interacting with that listening and speaking piece, really getting to understand each other. But one of the things that we've learned is it's so important for students to be able to tell my story. This is who I am. And a powerful piece of that is that the other kids are listening. So
when the teachers see that, it makes it all worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
And they also love their leader. They look to their principal, and they have to love their leader and appreciate and have respect for them to want to try it and get in and delve into it.
Yeah.
So That's great to hear.
I do want to comment on something that you brought out that's staying with me, and I'm trying to figure out as I ask the question, how do we get more leaders to understand the importance of these initiatives? You talked about the diversity at Emerson, not just the diversity in the program. Because the one thing that I've repeatedly heard in our district that breaks my heart is when we have certain schools that feel as though because they don't struggle or they're not a Title I school,
Right.
that these programs are not for them, or opting out of peace
Right.
summits or those things that are seen as diversity-ish. Bringing that understanding, that awareness. So when you just talked about how Emerson has that diversity and how it actually helps all, that's the piece I'm trying to get at. How do we talk to that non-Title I
Right.
school?
I think that as a district, we are on the right track. One of the first things that we've done is we've implemented this year that all teachers are participating in is that cultural responsiveness training.
Right.
And what we are learning as grown-ups is we're kind of learning to rethink what our fixed mindset of diversity. Growing up, I know diversity for me was, you guys know my mom. You haven't met my dad. My dad doesn't look like my mom. They're from very, very different cultures. So diversity was something that, as you know, my sisters and I growing up, we just lived it, we knew it, and it meant that, you know, diversity for us is that we have Hispanic family, we have Mexican family that speak Spanish, and then sometimes we go to my dad's house, or my dad's family, and they don't speak Spanish, and the food's different, the music's a little bit different, even the way they celebrate is a little bit different. That's been a traditional way of looking at diversity, but through that cultural responsiveness training, we're learning that even within one Hispanic community, there's diversity in that community. Just because they're all Hispanic doesn't mean that they all are coming from the same background. Looking at somebody's culture means that you're looking at their experiences, what they experienced growing up, how they view the world, the way the world has viewed them, and even if they're from the same ethnicity, that experience is going to be different, and that's how they're bringing that diversity to any team that they're working for, that they're working with. So really looking at, you know, what is diversity really? Is it different ethnicities, or is it just different learning experiences that people have had growing up? And like I said, what we have really learned is that students, and even the little kindergartners, they are so excited to tell their story and not be ashamed of their story. Everybody's story is different. And what we're learning through social emotional learning is that we can tell our story and we listen to other people's stories.
Thank you all. You know, on behalf of the board, we really appreciate the work that you do for your schools and for the community. Taking on programs like this elevates Mesa Public Schools, elevates your schools, elevates your students, and is a greatly appreciated benefit that I think you've got our support to continue with. So, with that, if there's no more comments, we will move on to item 13A.
Wait, Alex McDonald, don't
Oh.
leave. Stay till the meeting's over.
Oh.
I have to clear my name and clear Helen's department. Was it you?
Alda.
Not you, Helen. You stay here, Alex.
Either stay here or have lots of donuts, because there's a party at your school in the morning. Okay, so item 13A is approval for the considered direction of the ASBA to invite candidate P to interview for the position of district superintendent. Can I get a motion?
Mr. President, I make a motion to consider directing the ASBA to invite specific candidate P to interview for the position of district superintendent.
All in favor?
Aye.
And none opposed. All right, item 14.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed.
Oh.